Hi everyone, this is Ryan with rockthedivine.com. Thank you so much for tuning into my latest video. Don't mind my puffy, glassy eyes, my allergies are working overtime. Anyway, today's video is on more questions that I've received from viewers and from my Instagram. So I'm really excited to get into these. I wrote them down, but I didn't write the answers. Like everything else I do, I'm doing it on the fly. So one of the first questions I got asked was, this has actually been more than one question. I've seen it, I've been asked it, and I've also seen it below under some of the comments in my videos. And so I thought I'm just going to answer this once for everyone. A lot of times when I explain clairaudience, that's the internal hearing of spirit. And I have a lot of people that get a hold of me or make comments and say, no, you're wrong. I hear spirit out loud. Or my friend and I, we were in a haunted house and we heard someone say, get out. So what I want to explain is that there's been many of us that have heard spirit externally. You hear someone make a noise or cough. We've all had these ghostly experiences happen. That is not clairaudience. Clairaudience is the internal hearing of spirit. It's one of your psychic abilities, and most of us have, really all of us have that ability. It's just to what degree, how strong it is. When you are hearing spirit or an earthbound spirit externally, that is not clairaudience. That is just hearing spirit. And what the difference is when that happens, that rare time it does happen, it's being controlled by not only the spirit that's making the noise, it's also being controlled by your spirit guides, what they're allowing you to hear. So it's not something that can actually be worked on because you have no control over it. The only thing that can be worked on is your own internal hearing of spirit, your clairaudience. But to work on hearing spirit talk to you out loud, you can't work on that. I'm not saying you can't do it, but you can't work on it. You can't strengthen that ability because, like I said, you have no control over it. I also have people that get a hold of me and say, I almost got in a car accident and I heard someone yell, stop, and I was sure it was my angel and they saved my life. That's exactly the same thing. I'm sure that did happen, and we all have had those amazing things where something was saving us or stopping us from doing something. But once again, that is not clairaudience. That was your angel or your spirit guides forcing you to hear them all of a sudden because they knew in that moment that you wouldn't have time to ask a question or try to go inward and listen for the answer in that emergency type situation. But once again, that is not clairaudience. That is just hearing spirit. And like I said, you can't strengthen that, you can't work on it, and that's also why it's a rare thing to happen. So hopefully that clears that up a little bit. I'm probably going to have comments below, but that's okay. So let me see. The second question is, my third eye is opening and I am seeing dark shadows and other scary looking things. Why is this? Okay, so the best way I explain this is when your third eye is opening and preparing for you to receive and see information. The way I explain is that a lot of times you will see from the bottom to the top, is what I call it. So there's different levels of seeing, hearing, and experiencing, and there's low level all the way to high level. And once your third eye is opening in your other abilities, a lot of times you're going to be seeing the lower level things to start with. And as you work on your abilities and you raise your vibration, strengthen your energy field, you will stop seeing those lower vibration or lower level things, and you will start to see higher level things. Now, when my gifts first started opening, I saw both. So I would see a lot of shadows, I would see a lot of darkness out of the corner of my eye, shadows moving past me, and it was really unnerving. It was really scary. But I would also see these beautiful things like sparkles and bright, beautiful colors. I don't see the lower level things much anymore at all, and it's because I have set some rules with my spirit team, which I highly recommend you do, what you are comfortable seeing, what you're comfortable not. And also, as I have raised my vibration and my gifts have gotten stronger. I can't talk today. I can't talk in any video, really. Who am I kidding? But as you do those things, you will start seeing less of that sort of those dark shadows and kind of icky things you see, and you will start to see just the lighter things. Having said that, don't be afraid of those things you're seeing. I know it can be very scary, it can be very unnerving, and you think, oh my God, I've opened the gates of hell in my house and now it's full of things that are out to get me. But that's not true. Don't worry about it. It's very normal, very, very normal at first to see darkness and shadows, and as you progress, that will slip away. So the next one is, when I close my eyes at night, I see faces. That is textbook clairvoyance opening, if I've ever heard it. A lot of times when your abilities are opening, your third eye is opening and your clairvoyance is starting to really work, you will find at night when you lay down and you're starting to try to go to sleep that all of a sudden, almost like a movie sort of, or pictures, people will pop right in front of you, and it might be very, very fast. Sometimes it's in color, sometimes it's black and white, and it's there and gone just as quick as you saw it. There's a few different reasons for that. Not only is your clairvoyance trying to crack open and work out the kinks and blockages, the other thing is you can be seeing spirits that you actually saw throughout the day but didn't know you saw. So that's sort of their way of getting close to you and saying, hey, here I am, you saw me. I always tell people to not interact with these people that are kind of quick flashes in your vision, because they can also be low-level beings. They can be things masquerading as something they're not. Just acknowledge them. You see them there, and if you see sort of icky-looking things popping into your vision, just call in Archangel Michael and ask him to clear any anti-spirit and low-level entities that may be around you, and just then try to go to sleep. Don't worry too much about it. But that it's actually a good sign, because it means that if you're seeing these faces, these images popping in while you're trying to go to sleep, that your gifts are starting to really grow and expand. So let me see. The next question is, I have light bulbs blowing in my house all the time. Is it a ghost? It's quite possible that it is. Spirits can often make glass break or things drop. Usually they toy with electricity. They can make lights dim. That happens a lot when there's something in the house. And they can just make light bulbs blow altogether, and then you're replacing light bulbs left and right. The other, and if that's what you think it is, then you need to do some clearing on your house, or get someone that can help you do that. The other thing is, though, a lot of times if you sit down and you think about the situations that are going on inside your house, if there's been a lot of fighting, if you find you're very angry, or you have some pent up emotions, you can actually be the one that is causing the light bulbs to blow out or break. We all are energy, and everything is energy. And for some people, when you have that energy building up, it has to go somewhere, since you're not expressing yourself. And a lot of times it can sort of shoot out and affect the other things around you. And just like a spirit can more than likely affect the energy in your house, the electricity in your house, so can you. So if you find that you don't think you have a spirit doing this and you don't have any weird thing going on actually with your power, do make sure that you don't have a wire shorting out somewhere or something, because it can be that simple. But if you notice there's a lot going on with you and that keeps happening, that's a sign that you need to express yourself more. You need to take care of your energy and maybe not be in the situation you're in, because obviously it's causing negative energy to come out of you and affect your space. So keep that in mind. Okay, the next one. I'm struggling to hear answers from my spirit guides when I really need to know something. Why is this? Why won't they answer me? Okay, well, there's a few factors to that, because, hearing spirit takes time. You're not just going to hear spirit. It takes practice, and sometimes it can be years of practice. But initially when I read that question, I thought about what happens to me, and I have a feeling this is what that person was getting at. When I really want to know something, when I'm really worried, like, God, what is this? Like, whatever it might be, I notice I can't hear my spirit team. And that's what I have a feeling this person is also experiencing the same thing, where they're like, why is this? Like, I could just sense the energy behind the person's question. And what I want to say about that is, even though you might be desperate to know something, if you cannot ground and center yourself and go to a place in your mind where you sort of are removing yourself a little bit, it's how I get information. Like if I'm doing a reading for you, I have to go into a mindset where I'm almost not in a daze, but you're sort of like in a different level. Like you're not thinking, your brain's not busy, you're sort of like removing yourself a little bit. And you can see people that do this, that they scribble when they're getting information or doodling. They're doing that so they're not in their mind thinking, so they can receive the information. Me, I tend to sort of close my eyes or tip my head, and I glaze over what I'm looking at. It's not in focus, and it's because my mind has gone to a different place so I can receive information. Anyway, if you're in a place where you're very much in your mind and you're like worried and you're desperate to know, you're not going to be able to receive the information. And that's a lot of times why, if you're like, spirit guides, I need to know if I'm going to get this job, or I need to know if this guy's going to break up with me, I'm desperate to know, tell me the answer. The energy behind that is not going to allow you to hear clearly. If you're frustrated, if you're angry, if you're overwhelmed, it's very, very difficult to receive intuitive guidance from your team. So it's really either you need to wait until you're in a calm place where you can hear your team, or you need to get a hold of someone like me where they can hear better because they're not emotionally involved in your situation. And you also need to practice being present and being calm and not getting ahead of yourself. And that is how you will be more easily get the information. I really can't talk today, but I'm not redoing the video, so you're gonna have to deal with it. But anyway, if you notice you've got this wiry, anxious energy behind the need to know, you're not going to be able to hear your team. So just keep that in mind. All right. The next one is, how do I know if I'm around an energy vampire? Okay, there's a few ways to know. And surprisingly, I think people a lot of times think that an energy vampire is like some dark, ominous, scary person that's evil looking, and it's not. It can actually be like a very loving family member. It can be an energy vampire. A lot of times an energy vampire is someone that will affect your energy when you're around them. So if you notice you're hanging out with a certain person you hang out with all the time or whatever, and you get really tired in their presence, that's a sign. If you're around someone and you start feeling very anxious, that can also be a sign, because really you're picking up on their anxious energy. If you feel like you're being attacked, but yet they're not, you can't pinpoint on how they're attacking you. You just feel like sort of on the defense, and you feel like you need to defend yourself around someone, or they make you feel almost like you're just like not yourself. You don't feel very confident. That can be a sign that you're around an energy vampire. And there's sort of a real long list for this, but generally, if your energy feels very affected in a negative way, always around this person, you've got yourself an energy vampire. And you need to not only protect yourself with, you can call in your spirit team, you can protect yourself with light shields, but sometimes that's not even enough. You have to remove yourself from the person and not hang around them a lot. Even if it's a family member, even if it's someone you love, you need to recognize it's going on and protect yourself by keeping away from them a bit, as much as you can. Okay. 7. Whenever I talk to a certain person, I feel a pit in my stomach. Okay, that's why I wrote this one after the energy vampire. So that is also something an energy vampire can do, but it's not necessarily an energy vampire. If you ever feel you're talking to someone, or if they're in the room and you keep getting a pit in your stomach, or I tell people if you walk in, like let's say your boyfriend, his ex is in the room, and you just feel like someone's drilling a hole in the back of your head, like you keep kind of looking back thinking, God, I feel like someone's staring at me or something. That is someone sending you energy darts. And a lot of times you'll feel them coming from behind you, or if they're in front of you and you're feeling that sort of, you can either get the pit feeling in your heart, like in your chest, or you can get it in your stomach. And if you notice it, it's like a quick, like, oh, geez, what was that? Or what is that? That's a person that's probably either jealous, angry, resentful, they don't like you, or, basically lacking confidence. And instead of being sort of, they're sending you negativity your way because of jealousy and lack of their confidence. So if you feel those, what you need to do when you go home is you need to clear them. And it's as simple as asking your angels and guides to come in and saying, please clear and remove 100% of energy darts from every level of my being. Now, the next time you see this person, you might not feel those. If someone's sending you energy darts, don't necessarily be mad at them. 1, they don't even know they're doing it. It's a subconscious thing. And 2, sometimes it happens just because someone's having a bad day. I had this from a friend of mine a while back. I didn't realize that she was dealing with some insecurities on her part. And I guess something I said triggered something. And I remember feeling that sort of, that pit, like that quick dart feeling in my stomach. And I cleared myself, and of course it never happened since. She was just having a bad day. But keep that in mind. That's what they are. They are energy darts. They are energy, aggressive energy, angry energy being sent your way, and it can stick on you and affect your energy. So you do want to clear them if you feel them. Okay, do I have to take a salt bath to cleanse my energy? You don't. There's many, many ways to cleanse your energy, and I have lots of videos on how to do that. Having a salt bath is very helpful, especially if you are an empath. The salt is very cleansing to the aura, to your energy field, and also it's just very relaxing. I'm not a big bath person. Matter of fact, I'm not a bath person at all. I don't like sitting in my own water. I don't know, it's a weird thing. But you can get the same effect by just taking a shower, really. Water is very cleansing to your energy field, to your aura. And what I recommend doing is while you are taking a shower, that's when a lot of times I do a few of my clearings. So if you look at my other videos, I have things you can ask your spirit team to help you clear out of your energy field. I do those things while I'm washing my hair. So not only am I'm killing two birds with one stone, basically. So yeah, you don't have to take a bath. You can totally take a shower and cleanse your aura. Okay, 2 more to go. Everyone talks about crystals and their benefits, but I'm not feeling anything. Am I doing something wrong? No, you're not doing anything wrong. So I love crystals. I think they're beautiful. I have many of them around my home. And I have to say, even though I am very clairsentient, I feel lots of stuff. I'm an empath. I feel lots and lots of stuff. I have never felt anything from a crystal. And, I do this professionally. I can read your energy. I can feel what's going on with you. But for some reason, I can hold a crystal and I don't feel anything, no effects. And basically, don't get too worried about that. As intuitives and people in general, we all have different strengths. And I would say focus on your strengths. Don't compare yourself to others, and don't think just because you're not good at something or you can't feel something like the crystals that you're any less of an intuitive. Like I said, we're all so very different, and that's sort of what's amazing and unique about us. If you compare yourself to people, you will really pigeonhole yourself. You will hold yourself back. So, like I said, I have crystals around the house, but honestly, it's just because I like the way they look. If you're like me and you don't feel anything, don't even worry about it. It's very normal. All right, the last one. Let's see if I can get through this without mumbling my words. I'm going to blame it on my allergies. Are tarot cards dangerous? No, they are not dangerous. There is nothing, so tarot cards are like anything. They're like a pendulum. They're just a tool to help you communicate with spirit. They're a tool to help your intuition, or help you give guidance to others. They're just cards. They're just paper. And spirit can communicate through those, or your own higher self, your own intuition can communicate through those. But on their own, they're just cards. They hold no power. It's just like the pendulum is just, a chain with a whatever hanging at the bottom. It holds no power on its own. Even though energy can attach to them, them themselves hold no power. The power or any danger there would be behind your intent. So if you think tarot cards are dangerous, and when you're using them you think the devil's going to come through or dark spirits are going to come through, well, they could, because that's what you think they do. It wouldn't be because them themselves are dangerous. It's just like the pendulum. If you think every time you use it something's going to get you, or you're talking to something bad, that brings in that thing, whatever it might be. So you want to not only keep a high vibration, you want to make sure you're asking to only communicate and interact with those of the highest vibration of the light, or however you want to word that. You want to only be talking to those that have the best of intentions for all included, that are of the light. So it's really your intent. It's sort of like the Ouija board. The Ouija board itself has no power. It's just a board. Monopoly makes it. But the problem is with it, when you're using it, your intent is to communicate to spirits and any that want to come through. Well, that opens a whole door to stuff you don't want to be part of. So it was your intent that made the board work a certain way. You don't even need a board to do that. Like if you were sitting in your house and you're just calling in random spirits, which I'm not doing, by the way, you're going to get the same thing a Ouija board could do, which is you're going to get evil stuff, low-level things knocking at your door. So don't do that, by the way. Don't call in anybody. You need to be very aware of who you're talking to and the intent that you're putting out into the universe of who you want to communicate. But them in themselves are just paper. Anyway, that's my video today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for sending me your questions. Again, I apologize about my allergies and my mumbling. It's definitely my allergies' fault. Or that's what we're going to say anyway. Much love to you all. If you have any other questions, I love answering them, so feel free to send them to me. And if I can help you with any clarity or guidance, you'd like to speak to your spirit team, get a hold of me, rockthedivine.com, or you can email me, ryan@rockthedivine.com. Much love to you, babes.